I'm Colin and this is my wife EJ. We're the parents of 2 little girls, Faith who's 2.5 and Shalome who's 11 months old now. When we got married we were told not even to bother try having kids because EJ had some medical problems when she was a bit younger, and we were told that there would be 95% ectopic pregnancy. Anyway, we decided to try.
Well, we found out we were expecting Faith's first birthday, so 2 children in 22 months.
Yeah.
It's quite some going.
Yeah. We went to the hospital at 20 weeks, all excited to find out the sex of the baby, and we received some pretty tragic news.
They said that it was alobar holoprosencephaly, and that the brain basically hadn't formed into 2 hemispheres and was just one solid mass, and just said she's incompatible with life. We're sorry.
We're really sorry.
We're really
just
sorry.
Kept repeating himself. We're really sorry.
We're really sorry. And I just said, well, I mean, we just held each other's hand, and no tears at that point, just an absolute stunned shock, I think. And then you turned to me and said, they're saying that's it. Yeah. They're saying it's finished, it's over. And they said, we'll give you a few minutes to kind of come to terms with that. Walked outside. 5 or 10 minutes later, they walked back in and said, have you got any questions? I said, yeah. How long do you expect her to survive? What's her life going to be like if she survives? You know, all this kind of thing. And they were like, like fumbling with papers, looking at each other, a bit kind of nervous, really. And I said, we're not terminating.
I think the doctors were quite shocked at our decision to keep the baby, even with this quite severe abnormality with the brain. They said, look, go for your MRI scan. It'll just give us more information because we can get into more detail, and then, you know, maybe you'll think again. So following the MRI scan, they told us that it wasn't alobar, but it was semi-lobar, so the brain had half split. That was a little bit more positive.
They said to us she might survive to birth, she might survive birth itself. If she does, you're looking at minutes, hours.
The doctors could not predict what she would behave like, what she would look like, and that's evident when you see her now.
Hello. Then when they offered us abortion in a situation where she would possibly survive, again, that's very difficult. I can see why people want an out, but I could have aborted in that first situation and not seen this process through, not seen that change in diagnosis, and not have a beautiful girl in front of us now that is enriching our lives and opening up our world. When you're given a diagnosis with another child, your heart as parents goes out to your other siblings. And I was thinking, oh, you know, Faith's not going to have a sibling for life, she's going to lose a sister, and that impact on her. But actually the positive impact is phenomenal. She knows that she's different, definitely. And she says, Mummy, I don't have peace forever, because she calls Shalome peace. And I said, well, and looked at her and she said, oh, Shalome belongs to Jesus, doesn't she? And I was like, yeah. Blah, blah. You know, your sister belongs to Jesus, don't you? No. And we treasure her while we've got her. Do you love your sister, Faith?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people do ask us, why did you carry on with the pregnancy? Why did you decide to have her? And I just put it down to the fact that just because the child is in the womb doesn't mean it's not a life. Personally, we think that life starts at conception. So we pursued, and she arrived, and she's still with us now, and we're taking every day at a time.
We were adamant that we wanted to choose life, and I found it quite upsetting, really, that abortion was always talked about at every single meeting or appointment. But at those appointments, they should have said to us, shouldn't they, if you're choosing life, then there's this support in place, you know, there's hospices, there's hope there. That would have helped us celebrate and helped us feel more prepared and not alone. It's like the Shalomes in our world are shunned from society, and that breaks my heart, because the amount of joy that she brings to us and the amount that she is teaching us and the amount she is changing the world through her disability is phenomenal. Yeah. But that was shoved aside because of the diagnosis.
Yes, you are.
My advice to families facing our situation or our diagnosis or any pregnancy with complication, I would say don't jump to conclusions. Find out what support there is available with a child with needs. There are organisations that come and volunteer at our house, look after Shalome, and also Faith when she needs it. We believe that God has a purpose for everyone, even Shalome. And whatever Shalome's purpose is on this earth, we don't know. We hope that, you know, she will minister into the lives of people that either we will or won't meet, but she'll have a big impact.
She could live for 8 or 10 years, but she could pass away in her sleep, pain-free tonight. So we just count every day a blessing. She absolutely lights up. You know, she craves to be held and to be touched, and she comes alive with that. You look at her in her eyes and she just, her whole body just lights up with a smile, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it just brings that realisation back of, in the 11 months we've had her for, she's made a bigger difference in her life than what most people do in 70.